I wasn't just treating circulation problems anymore, I was living with them. We don't need more water. We need activated hydration.
Hello, my name is Dr. Davidson. For nearly 30 years, I've been inside the operating room. I've been in the ER, literally repairing failing hearts. But a few years ago, something shifted. I started noticing the heavy legs, the brain fog in the morning. The same symptoms I've diagnosed in my patients for decades. I wasn't just a heart surgeon anymore.
So, I did what I know how to do. I hit the research hard. I started testing dozens of different compounds and mixtures on myself. Most of them, they did absolutely nothing. But a select few. They changed things. Things I could actually measure, things I could feel. And that whole journey led me to a pretty critical warning. One I believe everyone over the age of 60 really needs to hear.
And here it is. Stop drinking plain water. I know. That sounds like complete medical heresy. We've all had it drilled into our heads 8 glasses a day, right? But the science, especially for bodies over 60, has changed. So let's really dive into this, because what I uncovered is, well, it's startling.
Here's the headline. After you turn 60, drinking plain, unenhanced water can actually slow your effective blood flow by as much as 79%. That's compared to the optimized methods we're about to go through. You heard me right. It can actually make things worse. So the big question is, why?
Well, it all comes down to what I now call the triple threat. See, when you're younger, your body is like a sponge. It's incredibly efficient. But after 60, 3 major physiological changes happen that frankly most doctors never even mention, and they completely change the rules of hydration. So here's what happens. First, your production of nitric oxide, that's the critical molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up, it just collapses. Second, your red blood cells get stiffer, making it way harder for them to squeeze into those tiny little capillaries that feed all your cells. And third, your plasma volume drops, which makes your blood thicker and, you guessed it, much harder for your heart to pump. It all leads to what we call hyperviscosity. Basically, sluggish, thick blood that puts a massive strain on your heart.
And this chart really just says it all. Look at that staggering drop in nitric oxide production between age 30 and age 60. We're talking a nosedive of 50 to 70%. So just pouring plain water into this system, it isn't going to trigger the vascular relaxation you desperately need. So, what will? What we need is what I call activated hydration. So what I'm going to do now is count down the top 5 ways to trigger that circulatory response. We're going to start with number 5 and build all the way up to the single most powerful trick that researchers have ever recorded.
All right, coming in at number 5 is what I call the structural reinforcer, cucumber and mint. And no, this isn't just for a spa day. This is about the structural integrity of your blood vessels. Cucumbers are packed with silica, which is absolutely essential for your blood vessel walls. Research shows it can improve arterial flexibility by about 12%. And then the mint, well, that adds a fantastic 1-2 punch with something called rosmarinic acid, which reduces vascular resistance, think of it as friction in your pipes, by around 15%.
And it couldn't be simpler to make. You just slice up the cucumber, gently crush the mint leaves, that's key to release their oils, and let it all infuse in cold water. Oh, and a quick pro tip, try to use organic cucumbers. Most of that amazing silica is actually in the skin, and the last thing you want is to be infusing pesticides into your water.
Number 4 might surprise a few of you, because for years we've been told that salt is the enemy. But for our bodies, Himalayan salt and lemon can be an absolute game changer. You see, plain water often lacks the minerals to actually get inside your cells effectively. Himalayan salt has 84 different trace elements that your vessels are just crying out for. Then you add lemon, and the vitamin C boosts the absorption of those minerals by up to 3 times. This simple trick has been shown to improve peripheral blood flow. That's the circulation to your hands and feet by a solid 23%.
The recipe is incredibly simple. Just a 1/4 teaspoon of that pink salt in 16 ounces of water with the juice of half a lemon. But, and this is a critical warning, if you have high blood pressure, please start with just 1/8 of a teaspoon and pay close attention to how your body responds.
Okay, let's move on to number 3, the nitric oxide master switch, beetroot and ginger. Honestly, this one has taken the cardiovascular research world by storm. Beets are, hands down, the richest natural source of dietary nitrates, which your body converts directly into that vessel-relaxing nitric oxide that we lose so much of as we age. And the effect is fast. I mean, really fast. A landmark study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that beetroot juice increased blood flow to muscles by a full 20% in just 3 hours. That is a rapid, tangible result.
We also add a bit of ginger, which helps keep the blood from getting too sticky by inhibiting platelet clumping.
To make it, you just mix about 100 milliliters of pure beetroot juice with water and add a teaspoon of freshly grated ginger. And just a quick heads up, don't be alarmed if your urine or stool turns a little reddish. It's just a harmless natural pigment called betanin, and it's actually a good sign that the active compounds are doing their job.
All right, number 2. This is a tonic that, in studies, produced one of the largest immediate circulation improvements ever recorded from hydration alone. I am talking about the cayenne and turmeric tonic. The hero here is a compound called capsaicin from the cayenne pepper, which literally triggers a rapid expansion of your blood vessels.
Take a look at this number, a staggering 31% improvement in microcirculation. Now what's that? It's the blood flow through the tiniest capillaries that feeds your brain, your nerves, and your skin. You combine that with the incredible anti-inflammatory power of turmeric, and you've got an unbelievably potent mix on your hands.
For this one, you need to gently heat the water, don't boil it, to help activate the curcumin in the turmeric. Then you add your cayenne, your turmeric, and a little pinch of black pepper. And here's the crucial last step. Add a little bit of fat, like coconut oil or ghee. Curcumin needs that fat to be properly absorbed by your body. Trust me, you'll feel an immediate warming sensation. That's your circulation kicking into high gear.
And now for the number 1 trick. This is the one I personally call the elixir. It's a combination that, when you look at a synthesis of peer-reviewed studies in leading cardiology journals, can potentially reverse the aging of your arteries by 8 to 10 years. We're not just talking about temporary boosts anymore, we are talking about deep structural repair.
So let's break down this arterial time machine. The pomegranate juice contains compounds called punocollagens, which have been shown in clinical trials to boost nitric oxide production by an incredible 230%. Then you add raw cacao powder, whose flavanols can actually help repair damaged blood vessels and reduce arterial plaque. The cinnamon and pepper, they're in there to maximize absorption. It's the synergy here, how these ingredients work together, that produces such profound results. So that's the most powerful combination that we know of. But the real magic happens when you integrate these tools into a simple daily routine. I don't expect you to do all of them every single day. The key is to use them wisely. So I've put together a simple daily synergy protocol to help reactivate your entire system by combining these chemical signals with mechanical ones.
Here's the 4-step protocol. It's really simple. First, the waking glass. Start your day with warm water to immediately help reduce blood thickness. Second, the mouth trick, and we'll detail this next. It's amazing. Third, the movement trigger. After your morning drink, get out for a 10-minute walk. Finally, for an extra boost, try the cold brew switch. Replace just 1 glass of water with a hibiscus flower cold brew to get some powerful antioxidants.
I really want to focus on this mouth trick because it is so simple, yet it is so powerful. When you hold a nitrate-rich drink, like the beetroot juice, in your mouth for just 3 to 5 seconds, the good bacteria in your saliva start converting those nitrates into nitric oxide immediately. This simple little action can boost the final nitric oxide levels by 40% compared to just gulping it down. It's a free upgrade. The most crucial point to take away from all of this is consistency. Yes, most people will feel warmer hands and feet, maybe more energy within just a few days. But the real, deep, vascular healing and repair, that comes from making these consistent habits over 2 to 3 months. Small actions, done daily, compound into truly remarkable results.
Look, your health is your most valuable asset you will ever own. Being proactive about it is the single best investment you can ever make. And that leads me to one final question to leave you with. What if some of the healthy foods you're eating every single day are actually making things worse, secretly stiffening your arteries? We'll explore that in the next explainer. Until then, stay proactive and please stay curious.